Okay. And Trump's inaugural fund getting a boost from a surprising source, from Mark Zuckerberg.
This is only a surprising source if you're a fucking idiot, okay? This is the least surprising revelation. I've been saying this. It's only surprising if you're like, oh, I don't understand. We've been lying and saying Mark Zuckerberg is woke for the last 4 years when it's very clear that he was never actually woke. He's a fucking billionaire. Of course he wasn't woke. They're like, oh, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the company, the social media billionaire that is responsible perhaps for the most active right-wing QAnon radicalization is paying the piper, is bending the knee to the guy that he thinks is very cool. Of course, these guys are going to kiss the ring. Of course, they want favorable deals. They know Trump will play ball if they kiss that ring. Trump is not like a super petty, super vindictive guy. I don't think he's not. He's a narcissist. You give him his flowers and he's going to be like, great. I love that. Can you help briefly explain why conservatives seem to be very concerned about human trafficking but are so callous to other issues concerning endangerment and rights violations of the general population? They're not actually worried about human trafficking either. They're just worried about a conspiracy of human trafficking that they've concocted in their brains. I mean, the most famous instance of human trafficking that happened under the Biden administration in broad daylight when Republican governors Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis actively trafficked humans from Texas to blue states to successfully blow up the processing structure that existed for people that wanted to get temporary protected status or legally seek out asylum. They did that. They did that. They did that in broad daylight, and Biden did nothing about it. And it was one of the most successful ways of using humans and human trafficking to prove a point. Now, the real point that they proved was, if you dump 100,000 people that are supposed to have their day in court and get legally processed through the system into unsuspecting blue cities, and then the federal government doesn't actually get in. The federal government doesn't actually step in and try to help to alleviate some of the stress here, then it's going to destroy the structure that exists. That's the only thing that they proved. The only thing they proved is when there's no federal mechanism of pushback that right-wing governors get away with human trafficking.
Meta donating $1 million as the tech billionaire looks to mend ties with Trump. Because remember, he took him off of Facebook in 2021 and then put him back on a few years later. That tells you a lot that they're mending the relationship.
Yeah. He grew his hair out and he started doing jiu-jitsu. I don't know if it's related.
And he wanted to take on Elon Musk and it never happened.
Yeah, he's trying to look more like Danny Penny, perhaps. Also, remember, the Zuckerbucks in those key districts made him put his hand on the scale with a shadow banning of the conservative groups and conservative politicians. And he's not the only.
I think it's kind of crazy because so much of virtually every single thing this guy just said. This is the most popular news network in the United States of America. Okay. And virtually every single thing that man just said, Brian, kill me. Every single thing he said is just a straight up lie. Okay. There is no other way to tackle the issue without just addressing that he is just lying. Like the Zuckerbucks or the fact that Facebook was actively suppressing conservative opinions. This is a falsehood. Spend any time on Meta products. Spend any time on Facebook, and you will very quickly understand that this is just a straightforward lie, okay? Facebook is filled to the brim with the most insane right-wing sentiment. Right-wing content creators on the news tab on Facebook have consistently dominated. Back when I was a Facebook content creator for the Young Turks, I couldn't believe I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, these guys were actively going to Congress and saying Facebook is suppressing us, Facebook is silencing us, Facebook is blacklisting us, right? When in fact they weren't doing that at all. Okay, they were not doing that at all. In that process, while they were cry-bullying Facebook to get more favorable algorithmic outcomes for themselves, they were already dominating the algorithm. Okay, they were already dominating. And they never stopped dominating the algorithm. They've always dominated the algorithm. But what happened in that process is that they turned around and they hired right-wing Republicans. Okay, here, Facebook's top 10s. Yep. Facebook top 10s, a bot that posts the source of the top 10 performing links. This is on October 7, 2020. The top performing link posts on U.S. Facebook pages in the last 24 hours are from Dan Bongino, Fox News, Fox News, Fox News, Donald Trump for president, Fox News. Number 7, TMZ. Number 8 is CNN. Number 9 is NPR. Number 10 is CNN. And they still, at this time, were complaining about how much Facebook was suppressing the truth, how much Facebook was suppressing right-wing sentiment. This was never a real thing. You understand? Republicans are so good at creating fake grievances, leaning on those fake grievances, and then creating an environment where they make everybody believe these fake grievances, and then use Congress to basically bully these massive institutions, these big-ass social media companies, in an effort to get even more favorable results than the ones that they already have. This is kind of similar to the way that right-wing grievances in the sphere of like Christian nationalism works, right? Most people understand that the idea that like Christianity and Christian thoughts are being suppressed in the United States of America is fucking stupid. Like the war on Christmas shit, right? Everybody laughs at this. But the real reasons why the Republicans actually run with this falsehood is because it's not necessarily that Christianity is being suppressed. The reason why they go with this grievance politics is because they match up. Some kind of like oppression, some kind of anti-Christianity oppression with gay people existing, with women being able to get abortions. It's a way to reframe restrictions that they want to implement it's a way to propagandize their position. It's a way to reframe the restrictions that they actually want to implement on others by saying, no, we don't want to restrict other people's freedoms. It's just that you're restricting my freedom. Okay? That's it. And it's the same process here where it's like, it's not that the right is being silenced. That's not real. They just made it up. But the real reason why they say that is so that they get even more favorable algorithmic boosts. That is the main purpose of this, and it works. That's how they get Congress to bully Facebook and maybe even threaten Facebook with like trust busting, for example, so that Facebook will then turn around and bring forward a right-wing people. Yeah, exactly. Work the referees. Thank you. Man Plan 80. They work the referees a little bit so that they go and they hire, Heritage Foundation people to do their content moderation. That's the real purpose here. And they have done that. They've been doing this since like 2016. Right? Like, it's not new. It's not new at all. They had like people from Tucker Carlson's Daily Caller doing moderation on Facebook. It's ridiculous,